I have very good news for the country. Democrats and Republicans have come to an agreement, and the government will remain open. We will have avoided a shutdown.
Breaking. A government shutdown has been averted with just hours to spare. Congress passes a 45-day funding bill, which funds the government through now November 17th. And with the crypto market rallying in response to this, how will this 45-day extension affect you?
Good evening to you. I'm Tom Ziska. We're glad to have you with us. We begin with that breaking news from Washington. Congress came together on an 11th-hour deal tonight to pass a short-term spending bill. The agreement avoids a shutdown for now.
So the bill allows the government to stay open for another 45 days. It was literally passed just 3 hours before the 12:01 a.m. shutdown, which would have happened. It was then signed late last night by Biden, and in his direct quote, he says, "Tonight, bipartisan majorities in the House and Senate voted to keep the government open, preventing an unnecessary crisis, which would have inflicted needless pain on millions of hardworking Americans. This bill ensures that active duty troops will continue to get paid, travelers will be spared airport delays, millions of women and children will continue to have access to vital nutrition assistance, and much more. This is good news for the American people." Of course, the bigger question, because this just kicks the can down the road, what should we expect on November 17th if a more permanent solution can't be agreed upon, i.e. if a government shutdown happens then?
The American government's finances aren't exactly in good shape. The U.S. has a credit rating just like you. And in August, it took a big hit. One of the three major credit ratings agencies, Fitch, downgraded the status of the U.S. from the highest AAA to AA+ in only the second downgrade in the nation's history. It's like you going from a perfect 850 credit score to closer to 750. The purpose of Fitch's downgrade was to sound the alarm that the financial health of the government is in question. And one big reason why is repeated government shutdowns. In the past decade, the federal government has shut down 3 times, in 2013, 2018, and for a record 35-day stretch again from the end of 2018 to early 2019. Those 3 instances had a big impact on the economy, costing American taxpayers nearly $4 billion.
So obviously, a November 17th government shutdown would stifle the U.S. economy in a huge way. Average people all around the country would have less money to spend. And by the way, maybe that's exactly what Fed Chair Jerome Powell indirectly wants. I mean, United States inflation is still incredibly sticky, even creeping back up in this last month. Also not close to his 2% end-of-year target. After all, that is why he is raising the federal funds interest rate, to quell that down. But a government shutdown would indirectly do that job quicker. And again, maybe this again gets solved. Maybe in 45 days, we'll have a more permanent solution. I'm hoping. But if a solution is not reached, here's what you should expect.
Okay, so what does this mean for you? Thankfully, many of the government's operations, like sending out Social Security and Medicare checks or food assistance benefits, don't have to go through this annual approval process, so you'd still be able to get those payments on time, even if the government shuts down. But other parts of the government are left in limbo. For example, thousands of federal employees would get furloughed, meaning they're temporarily laid off and their paychecks are delayed or suspended. Government employees who provide essential services like air traffic control or law enforcement do have to keep going to work, but they might not get immediately paid. National parks might close or shut down some services like trash collection, visitor centers, and public bathrooms. And passport offices, which are already suffering from major delays, could get even more backlogged. The government stays shut down until lawmakers in the House and Senate come to an agreement and pass those funding bills. And just like you would have to make better financial choices to boost your credit score, the government might need to break the bad habit of shutting down to get its perfect rating back.
And keep in mind, Bitcoin doesn't need a vote from Congress to decide its monetary policy going forward, meaning no government controls it, meaning Bitcoin has an open, permissionless, and 100% verifiable monetary policy. That's one of the reasons we're seeing the buying. We're seeing the rally in the market. And just looking at the data, as we've been reporting, Bitcoin spot trading volume today has dropped to a 6-year low, meaning people are more interested in holding their coins, believing in their future value, than selling at the first sign of profit. So volume is minuscule, price action looks dead, and checking back in on some of these metrics, to me, very revealing. Here's Bitcoin's 200-week moving average heat map, and what this shows us. In each of Bitcoin's major market cycles, Bitcoin's price historically bottoms around the 200-week moving average, and how this can be used. Historically, when we see orange and red dots assigned to the price chart, this has been a good time to sell Bitcoin as the market overheats. Periods where the price dots are purple and close to the 200-week moving average have historically been a good time to buy. And looking at where we are today, Bitcoin's actual price is pretty damn near the 200-week moving average. This has historically been a great time to buy. We hardly ever, even in the most bearish of bear markets, we've hardly ever dropped below. Now, of course, everything is possible. We spent weeks below the 200-week moving average earlier this year. But for times in the red or times in the yellow, that's a great time to sell. Times in the dark blue or purple, historically, great time to buy. And the market is neutral, meaning not fearful or greedy. The market doesn't really know how to feel, probably because how much of an unknown macro is in the short term right now. But like we've reported, when in doubt, zoom out. And 2024 has so many bullish catalysts for Bitcoin. Potential spot Bitcoin ETF, potential rate cuts, US debt buybacks, aka stimulus. It's an election year, it's a halving year. What did I miss? Well, you missed the fact that in order for Bitcoin to go up in price, people need to buy more of it than sell it. And when no one has any money, as the economy is in the mud and continues to trend that way, Bitcoin goes nowhere but down, LOL. Ah, yes. Except for the many trillions farming yield, waiting for better opportunities in the money market funds. And to prove this, according to the Investment Company Institute, the total money market fund assets increased by 17.7 billion to 5.64 trillion for the week that ended September 13th, 2023. So this just happened, proving again, there is an unknown in this market today. People don't know whether they should be greedy or fearful or where Bitcoin will be short term. All of this is an ongoing story. The minute I get more information, I will make a video. I will keep you updated. Hey, if anybody's in Los Angeles this week and wants to come out, I will be attending the Crypto Wendy O Roast. Link down below if you want to join us if you're in Los Angeles. Also, link down below for Bitcoin Amsterdam. Use code AltcoinDaily right now for 10% off your ticket.
The bill is passed, and with that objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table.